Here is one simple mistake that you might be making which is causing you to fail your PRs in the gym. Now, to help put this into perspective, I want you to imagine warming up to a 100 kilo bench press, right? So you got the bar, you're going to warm up with the bar first, you're going to put a 20 kilo plate on each side, you got 60 kilos on the bar, you're going to warm up with that. Next you're going to decide to warm up with 80 kilos, you put another 10 kilo plate on the bar, sweet, you're warming up with 80 kilos, nice. Maybe you're going to warm up with 90 kilos, so you put another 5 kilo plate on the bar, you warm up with that. Well done, now you're going for 100 kilos. So what you've got on the bar currently is a 20, a 10 and a 5 on each side. You're going to put on another 5, so you've got 100 kilos. Bam, there's 100 kilos. You're going to go for that PR. Now, of course, that's just one way to get 100 kilos onto a barbell, right? So there's many ways to do it, but obviously the most common way that everyone knows is two 20 kilo plates. So you have two 20 kilo plates on either side, that's 100 kg. So you might be asking, where am I going with all this? Well, this is where I want to talk about moments, like as in moments from physics, right? Here's a really good example. Here's a door, right? If I push the door furthest from the hinge, I'm using barely any effort to do so, right? Well, what if I try and push the door right at the hinge? Look, I have to use a lot more effort to do so. In basic terms, a moment is the turning force which occurs when you push or pull something from a pivot point. So I'll describe this further with a video of me actually benching 100 kilos. As you can see, I've got a 25 kilo plate and a 15 kilo plate on each side. By using as few plates as possible to reach my desired weight, which is of course 100 kilos, the mass stays closer to the bar. It's tighter, it's more compact, it's more stable. You see, if I had used a whole bunch of more plates, whilst keeping the weight as 100 kilos, the mass would have been further out from the center of the bar, which in turn would have caused more turning force, which actually would have made the exercise harder despite it being the exact same weight. So yeah, that might have been a big build-up for a really anticlimactic finish, but that's basically it. If you're going for a PR, you want to try and use the fewest amount of plates to get to that desired weight, right? So let's talk about 140 kilos. Everyone knows that's 3 20 kilo plates. Well, that's also 2 25 kilo plates and a 10 kilo plate. And in turn, there's less turning force on that, which means it'll just be a little bit easier to get it up, which could be the big difference that helps you achieve a PR. I just want to wrap up this video with a few closing notes. I don't think the difference in difficulty is going to be that huge at lower weights. I think really you only begin to notice it once you get over 100 kilos. And obviously as you get over 150, 200, 250, you're going to notice it a lot more. That's why in powerlifting competitions, they use really paper thin 25 kilo plates or 20 kilo plates or whatever, you know what I'm saying. One more note I want to say is that this isn't strictly for PRs. If you just want to ego lift a little bit smarter, you can just do this method as well, and you'll be able to lift the same weight, but maybe for 1 more rep or 2 more reps. But yeah, I hope this video helps. Thank you for watching if you're still here, and I'll see you next time.